It really should not be a surprise to anyone that if you cannot show the evidence that someone should not go to jail. I do not have a heart for people who do evil, but if I was put on trial, my tune would change quickly. I would want people to defend me, to challenge the accusers for any evidence that would hang me. Get me Perry Mason! Get me Matlock! If there's no evidence, then there should be no hanging. I have never thought I would live in an age where thoughts or speech could be put me in jail. But this is not the first time this has happened. We can go back in the days of the Cold War where people of different ideals would go to jail or brought to testify. I do not like communism, but throwing American communists in jail is never the answer. We are supposed to be the free people, and our Constitution protects people's ability to speak and hate, and I'm sorry, just deal with it. We're not going to like everyone. See, if you hate someone, it is not a crime. You should not be thrown in jail because of your hate toward an individual or individuals. You have to have cause or probable cause for a crime. In other words, show me the body. If you have no body, then nobody is dead, and therefore no one can be charged with a crime. Probable cause can be brought about by any reason today to invite a warrant. If a police comes to your door and does not open it, they can see a vacuum cleaner and say they saw a weapon and tell a judge to issue a warrant. So my advice is not to open that door. Greet them, step outside, and close the door behind you. In the 70s, we saw the war on drugs. This gave police a federal backing to take more rights. Nowadays, people can be thrown in jail for needles or hemp-type products without the said drug, marijuana, or heroin. Now, whether a judge actually convicts or not, we never know most of the time, but the point is the countless tax dollars spent on needless search and seizures over a person who wants a joint. The best deterrent for drugs for me was the Just Say No campaign in the 80s. Educating people about the dangers of drugs is far better than clubbing them over the head to make a statement about a civilized society. Plus, states and towns should have the right to inflict the laws of morality, not the federal government. Again, what works in Mississippi does not work in New York. Now we have the war on terror. Now, anyone who fits the profile of someone who is concerned about America can be considered a terrorist. I have seen veterans who served this country come back here and upset over this present administration be called racist or hate groups because they're concerned where their tax dollars are going. I have no problem with people being called racist. I expect the 4-year-old mentality to do that. When they are proven wrong, they just kind of resort back with name calling. In this minority report, Stalin McCarthy type administration who wants to put people on watch just because the liberal media calls them that, prove me wrong, children, then there is a problem. I could go on and on about our federal government who wants to limit our freedom of speech and free people of thinking, but you get my point. The point is simple. You should not, as an American citizen, be held without due process of law for just writing or thinking things out, no matter how perverse or destructive they are or how bad Foxy the squirrel thinks they are. That is why the Constitution was written, to protect you and me and to limit the federal government. And kiss my fluffy tail.